Well, how do there, people? It is I, Captain Steve, and we're back in Gran Turismo 7, and we're doing the Petite Course de France. Now, there's two parts to this race, so there's two races that I'm going to be taking part in, and this is my little car that I've jazzed up with loads of decals. If you didn't see the previous episode on how I did this, it's in the top right corner. Righto, so Captain Steve is heading up the back of the queue in position 12, and he's heading into the first bend, and before he even reaches the bend, it looks like he's moving himself into the 11th position. Yes, just completely annihilated that guy. It was like he was standing still. Take that. Righto, and we're heading up onto the 10th position. Take that, Clement. Yes, easily past Clement and K. Hurt. Yeah, back to Sherwood Forest with you. So yes, this actually equates over the two different tracks. So depending on where you place, depends on the points that you get and your overall score and what sort of prize you get. I'm hoping to get myself a gnarly vehicle at the end of this. But anyway, we're approaching position 8 and 4. Look at that! And we took Jay Gordon as well. I think we just traded paint, and it looks like I shoved him behind. But yes, he's dropped back a position. This is some aggressive driving from Captain Steve. Oh, he cut that guy right up, didn't he? Valente, I'm sorry, my friend. I'm swapping to talking about myself in first person and third person. Basically, I'm trying to be like a race annunciator. I hope I'm doing well. Let us know in the comments if you're liking this sort of approach. I mean, technically, I could show actual gameplay. If you prefer to actually see me actually play the game and, you know, follow the race lines and all that sort of shenanigans, then let me know. But I kind of like watching these replays, mainly because the ray tracing looks super freaking marvellous, and you get to see the cars at all the different angles. Anyway, we're on the back of Hubert there. Take that, Hubert. Now we're into position 4. Quite like Hubert's car, isn't it? Pretty darn freaking dashing and nice, isn't it? Not as dapper as mine, obviously, because I've got stickers. Right, let's keep going. Let's keep hammering it around here. I love that hill with all the freaking trees on it. I tell you, there's times where I've almost taken my car off the track just because I'm looking at the scenery. There was one with like a waterfall coming down the rock face. It was freaking awesome, freaking sublime. Anyhow, I don't know what those guys are doing in that bus shelter over there. There's no buses running. It's the weekend and it's a racetrack. There's no buses. There's some more. Okay, they must be race officials or something. Who knows? You see that little guy poking up and down behind the barrier? Sod that for a game of freaking cricket. What happens if a car tumbles? Heck yes, take their freaking heads off. Anyhow, let's take it into this bend, and I'm now moving up into... Oh, it's going to move into first place on this one bend. No, but he's got second, and he's nose end into the back end of the position of first. Oh, and it looks like we might be taking him right as we complete lap 1. Freaking awesome. So there's one lap to go, and yes, it looks like we're in the lead. We are the lead car for lap 2. Yes, it's the final lap actually. There's only 2 laps to this track, people. So yeah, I think we've got this one in the freaking bag, and we're leaving them for freaking dust. Look at that old Georgian house in the background, all white with the cross beams and stuff. Freaking great. I saw an airship earlier up in the freaking sky too. There's just so much to take in with inside of this game, there really is, and the photo mode is freaking awesome. I have to do a video on photo mode because yeah, you can have some real fun with that. I actually put a picture on my family chat, you know, my brother's in there, my mum and dad and stuff. Put a picture there and said, look at my new car with the Captain Steve logos on it. I'm like, is that real? I was like, no, it's a computer game. It's a freaking computer game. They're like, oh, I thought it was a real photo. I wondered how you'd managed to get somebody, convince them to stick stickers on their car. Brilliant. Yeah, they thought it was a real photo. They didn't think it was a computer game. They were actually questioning how the fudge have you managed to get your logo on someone else's car. That's what their question was, not is that a real car. Freaking awesome stuff. So it just goes to show how convincing the actual graphics are getting inside of video games now. God, I mean, I grew up on the Atari 2600, and when you look at the Atari 2600 compared to this, it's freaking mind-blowing stuff, just how far games have progressed. What are they going to be like in 10 years' time? I hope I'm about in 10 years' time. Heck yes, I should be. You know, I'm still quite a young little Steve. Probably not. I'm lying to myself, aren't I? But yeah, it'll be freaking awesome to see. Yeah, I want to get PSVR 2. I'm hoping that when PSVR 2 comes out, that there is a PSVR 2 game mode for this game. I've heard that there is, and it's kind of the reason I picked this up. But yeah, let us know in the comments if you've heard more and where I can see more on Gran Turismo 7 for PSVR 2. I could just jump on Google actually, which I'm probably going to do, but you might have seen something awesome. Let me know anyway. Can't hurt, can it? Knowledge is power and all that sort of shenanigans. See that lake down there as well? Freaking epic. Anyhow, we're approaching the finish line. Yes, I've been chatting frickin' gibberish for a while because there hasn't been no action. I'm well in frickin' front. But I'm going to let you into a little secret, people. On track 2, I have a bit of a doozy. I have a bit of a crash. I ruined my freaking paintwork in track 2, so stay tuned for that because I have a gnarly little bump. Anyhow, let's keep going, and we're heading over towards the finishing line, and I think we're about to cross it just after this corner. So heading round here, and I think that's race 1 over, and we can move on to race 2. Yes, we've already done it. We've already crossed the crossing line. I just must have missed it or something. Well, here we go, Trumps. So this is track 2. But it's the same opponents, I'm in the same car, so it's a continuation on. So, you know, it carries your points over. So if you did do badly and then you do really good, there's a chance that you can still feature in the top 3 and you might get a reward or something, I don't know. But anyway, I want gold. Now, the first time I ran this race, I did it completely untuned. I just took this car straight on the track and I came 3rd in the first race. So yeah, it's made a big difference tuning this car up. So I completely reduced its weight. I went through all 3 grades of reducing its weight. And I put in some sports brakes to make it so it brakes quicker. I also changed the gear ratios. I put in a sports ratio so it changes gear quicker. So if I do have a little knock or anything or hit a car or brake, I can then accelerate back out the corners. So slow down into the corners, speed up out of the corners. That's the idea I'm going for, and it seems to have paid off massively. So yeah, I think I took it up by about 100 bhp or something, some brake horsepower. And it's doing massively well. You can see here it's decimating all the other cars on the track, and I've climbed myself all the way up to 6th. In fact, it's almost taken the challenger out of this actual race itself, but I'd imagine the races are only going to get harder as we progress upwards and onwards, and every car that I do these larger races with are the cars that I'm going to be taking into the decal shop and personalising and putting a bit of love into. And yes, I will be tuning them up and making them pretty darn freaking awesome, but I don't think I'm going to spend so much on the next one because this one is just, it's just taken the complete challenge out. It's just, look at it, it's like a walk in the freaking park now. I'm just catching up with the lead cars, and I don't even think we've gone through lap 1 as yet. I'm mowing the grass as well as I go. I did mention that I crash on lap 2. When I get into first place, I get a little bit cocky, a little bit oversure of myself, and I have a little bit of a knock, and that's coming up fairly soon. So you people out there are probably thinking, well, Gran Turismo doesn't really have race damage. Well, I think they've tweaked that a little bit now. I get a little bit of damage. I mean, yeah, I run into the freaking wall at 80 miles an hour. That should have been freaking airbags and, you know, teeth through the window screen and all sorts of stuff and arse through your face. But no, didn't freaking happen like that. I just hit a wall, I get a big dent in the front though and lose some paintwork, and then I just drive back off again. But we get to that in a moment because we've just hit freaking first place. Chateau Barrat is just over there. They do some lovely wine over at Chateau Barrat. Oh, and a lovely cheese board. Lovely cheese board. Yeah, check them out. I've not actually been. I just made all that up just to add a bit of realism in. Anyhow, go on, Captain Steve. Hammer it into that corner and into that freaking wall in a moment. Like a freaking rocket, I'll tell you. Anyhow, this is the actual line over here. So we're heading into lap 2 now. So this is where the actual crash happens in a moment. And I think it's on one of the first bends. I think it's around here anyway. There we go. That's it. Boom. There we go. Smash. Now look at my right-hand side there. Look at all that crumpleness. Got lots of crumpleness. Got a bit of wobble as well there. You know, we're going to soldier on. We're going to soldier on. The airbags didn't go off. I didn't get launched through the window screen, so we're all good. Yeah, we live to drive another day, people. Here we go. So yeah, I am still putting my foot down to the metal, and you can see that there are cars right behind me in fairly quick succession. They are managing to keep up with me to some degree, but no, there's not really much of a challenge now, and I am really hammering it through these corners. A little bit of oversteer there, but I managed to correct it and bring it back into line. I don't in a minute though. I come back off the track and I managed to cut the grass with the back end of my car. Yeah, pretty darn freaking nice, but we'll get to that hopefully. Hopefully it's going to be in this replay. I can't remember whether it is or isn't at a decent angle. Lights are on because it's starting to transition from day into early eve. I love that as well. The ambient day to night cycle in this game is freaking awesome. I mean, the photo mode and the photo opportunities in this is freaking great. Love it. Yeah, anyway, let's hammer it into this corner. Brilliant. You can see the reflection of the lights of the track. Oh, I've set this so it's more to do with ray tracing mode than skipping frames and stuff. I think this is where I come off and mow the grass. Here we go. Yeah, what a cool angle that is. Look at all the blades of grass. It's freaking epic. Right, and at this point I don't think I'm too far away from the old Checkedy flag. You're going to see the markings on the road where, you know, the pit queue is and all that sort of stuff. As soon as you see that, you know that the actual finish line is coming up. I missed it last time because I was too busy chatting, but I'm fairly sure it's just round this next bend and round this corner. Yeah, this one here. Oh, look at that giant sort of tent pavilion. I hope they've got lovely sandwiches there. Or finger nibbles. Yes, I do like an hors d'oeuvre. Heck yes I do. Right, we're heading around here and I think this is the final bend. I know I said that on the last one, but we must be nearing the end now. It must be close. Here we go. And it's the final straight, I think, now. Yeah, this is it. This is it. It's the third time I've said that and it hasn't been. But yeah, there we go. When does this freaking race end? Come on, Cousin Steve. Faster, dang it. Faster. No, this must be the bend. This must be the last one. Yeah, here we go. These are the things I was on about. These are the chevrons. Chevrons, got to keep your distance. Chevrons. And we're heading into the finish line. You should see the Checkedy man flag. No, I wish that it would zoom in onto the actual finish line so you can see the photo finish opportunities and all that. But that's the race over. What did I win? Let's have a look. I'll see you in the next video. Goodbye, goodbye. And goodbye again, people in the videoverse. Well, thank you very much for watching. If you like what you see, please hit a like and a subscribe, and I'd like to say a massive great big thank you to all of my backers over on Patreon and over on YouTube membership. Thanking you, backers! And if you want to support this channel, just don't skip the adverts. That throws revenue down my avenue. Or yeah, just stay with Captain Steve that little bit longer and hit something on this screen. There's merch here now too.